So nearby Lucas, I've got a big old cup of coffee. What are we talking about today?
Talking about some dick.
Dick Grayson. Oh, so far, this is not a bit. I know I've done this every time, but it's like 16 months, folks. 16 months. Nearby Lucas, as you often do, let the lovely audience know what we're specifically talking about today.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be talking about a DC character again, finally.
Yeah. And do you want to just like pull back the curtain on that and explain why we don't often discuss DC characters on Wiki Weekends, even though we both love DC?
We do, yeah, and because it causes moments like today where we've just spent 10 minutes trying to find a DC character with a half decently written wiki page.
Yeah, because we were going to do Starro. Like, Starro the Conqueror! Yeah! Oh, the wiki has like 4 entries on it, and it's like weaknesses, anti-starfish technology. Well, that's fun. You're going to tell me what it is, wiki? No. Okay.
Have you got any other cool like powers and abilities sections? Not really.
Yeah, he's like, he lives for millennia. You're going to explain that? No. So why am I on the wiki? And that's like, that's the struggle. So if anyone out there like writes wiki entries, maybe go write some DC ones because they really need the help.
They do, but, doesn't need help? Fucking Nightwing.
Nightwing. And Lucas, you'd like to explain your love for this character because you adore Nightwing, correct?
Yeah, so I've always been a Batman fan, but I always preferred Robin to Batman because, he's not an arsehole.
That's fair, yeah.
Basically. But then I love the idea of Robin going out and breaking out on his own, becoming Nightwing, just being his own man.
So how do you feel then about just that line in Titans where it's "fuck Batman"?
Let's not talk about Titans, Karl.
That line is so cringy, but I think they would have gotten away with it if they had the balls to not put Batman in that show. And then they put Batman in that show. Because that could have been an audience nod of look, this is not a Batman. We know that any time we mention something to do with this universe, Batman has to be front and center. No, fuck Batman, this is about Titans. Titans front and center, end of that season, Batman cameo. Every time. It's like in the Gotham TV show. This is a story about James Gordon and the city of Gotham is the main character. Episode 2, Batman.
No, it's about Jim Gordon helping baby Bruce Wayne
become baby Batman. It's fuck, you can't leave it alone. Anyway, Dick Grayson is a vigilante in the Batman family and the original hero known as Robin, the boy wonder. Eventually, he outgrew this position and was inspired by Superman to become Nightwing, while Jason Todd and Tim Drake succeeded him as Robin. And I love the idea that Superman's like, "No, you're better than this."
Yeah, just step away from Bruce. He's going through some shit. You're better off without him in your life, mate.
Well, that's why I like Injustice. I think it's Damian Wayne is Robin in Injustice 2.
Yeah.
And it's that where you've got evil Superman. Spoilers in Injustice 2, you've got evil Superman, because that's the only story people know how to tell about that universe. And there's a conversation between Damian Wayne and Batman, where Batman's Superman's gone too far. He's killing criminals without any due process. And Damian Wayne is Batman, you just beat people half to death and leave them in an alleyway. How's that any better? And Batman doesn't say anything. He knows that he's a fucking hypocrite in that moment. And then, smash cut to 30 seconds later in that game, Batman just jumps down on a criminal and just caves his skull in, and Robin just looks at him and goes...
Yeah, he's like, "Come on, really?"
And Batman doesn't say it, because he knows that he's in the wrong as well. Fuck you, Batman.
There's never been a Robin until Damian that calls him out on that shit.
Yeah, on the huge hypocrisy of you can't just murder criminals willingly. It's you beat them half to death and leave them in an alleyway with broken limbs. How is that any better? That's worse than being killed for some people. It's basically a death sentence, but they die later in agony. And can I just say as well, the Injustice games has one of my favourite Superman quotes in it. It's when you have some nobody like Harley Quinn or the Joker fight Superman, and in the pre-battle banter, the character will say something like, "You're making a mistake," or "You're an idiot," and Superman comes out, "I'm not the one fighting Superman."
He's gone for you.
Yeah, you're a fucking what? Anyway, he succeeded his mentor to become Batman with Damian Wayne as his Robin. Bruce's return allowed them to both wear the mantle for a short. Oh, 2 Batman.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you're a criminal and 2 Batman turn up? That's awful.
Bad enough when one shows up.
Although Grayson has since returned to his identity as Nightwing. And are you ready for some band names?
Yeah, does he have band names?
No.
Oh.
You've got Robin, Target, Renegade, Burn, and Batman. Oh. Renegade's alright. Bit generic.
Yeah, it's very generic.
But what do you think, though, of Nightwing? I do like his costume, though.
Which one though?
The dumb one that's on this picture where he's got like the little wings underneath, and he does like backflips.
But Karl, I was more saying like, which colour do you associate with Nightwing?
Blue.
Blue, yeah.
Blue. He like Nightwing's colour is blue.
But then they went for the edge and went, no, he's got a black with red accents. Oh, no.
Fuck Batman, the edge. We can't escape it. Look, are you ready? Just go straight on to powers and abilities.
Yep.
So with what you know about Nightwing, what you're going to guess is his most notable power / ability.
Evolution. He turned from Robin to Nightwing.
Okay,
No.
Can you imagine if we called Robins Nightwings? I'd be so scared of getting a Christmas card.
Maybe like acrobatics.
Damn right it is. Acrobatics. Yeah. Grayson is a prodigious natural athlete and master acrobat, possessing peak human level of agility / acrobatic skills. He is regarded as the greatest human acrobat in the world. He is one of 3 people on the planet who can pull off a quadruple backflip.
But can he dodge Darkseid's Omega beams with a backflip?
I don't think he can. I love that as well. It takes more time. Like, in the time it takes Batman, we need to mention that. Batman can dodge Omega beams, which are undodgeable with a backflip. And he does it by doing, like, and the thing is, the time it takes someone to think about the process of doing a backflip and for your legs to, like, the Omega beam's gone clean through your skull.
Flee. Impressive. No one has ever avoided my Omega beam.
And then we've just got disguise and driving with no explanation for or cool examples of his driving ability. And that's why the DC Wiki is lacking sometimes. Mm-hmm. I want to know, like, what cool shit has he done in a car? Has he done any, like, John Wick car combos? Yeah, driving. He drives the Batmobile. On the Batmobile.
No, Robin's always on the bike,
isn't
he?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, has he ever done that Leon Kennedy thing of throwing his bike at somebody and then shooting it with a gun?
I'm assuming, well, I'm probably assuming not, because they don't use guns.
Well, you say that, Lucas, but the next one here is firearms. Grayson is skilled with firearms as he was trained by Batman.
Batman never uses guns, kids.
But he still trains children how to use them in case. That's what I love about Batman. We don't use guns, we're better than that. I use knives and stab people. He's like a Jedi and it's like so uncivilized and he holds a blaster in his hand. And then later in, like, you know, that series, like Obi-Wan is cutting a guy's legs off and watching him burn to death. So, civilization.
I didn't want to do this, Anakin.
Do you know what I mean? More civilized than what, just shooting the fucking head.
No, just brand them with your Batman symbol so they know to, like, just murder you in jail instead.
No. Escapology. Due to his training with Batman, he possesses extreme skill in escapology. He was able to escape a maze before the Flash could. What? What? A man who runs at light speed. A man who can be in every conceivable location on the planet at once due to how fast he goes.
Also can vibrate through the maze. He can go through the walls of the maze.
And see, that's the kind of shit you need in wikis for us to want to read them on this series. Genius level intellect. He has a vast knowledge of different fields. He often shows this when used in combination with his detective skills. He was intelligent enough to build his own night car. I told you he drove a car.
God damn it.
He built the night car. You should have called it the Nightmobile. That would have sounded too sexual though, wouldn't it? Intimidation. He is skilled enough to get Scarecrow, who only fears Batman, to talk during his time as Batman. Then he's not... But that's not his achievement then, is it?
That's Batman's achievement.
He dressed as Batman and scared a guy who's only scared of Batman. Oh, I wonder how he did it.
It's like me dressing up as a giant spider, scaring you, and then taking credit for it. It's like, no, Karl's scared of spiders, not me.
I'm also scared of giant spiders. That's what I love that. He only fears Batman. Wow, how did Nightwing scare him then? Oh, he dressed like Batman. Investigation. Grayson is a master detective and can be said to be second only to Batman. He was able to solve a riddle by the Riddler before Batman himself. He also was able to deduce clues left in Wayne Manor that suggested Batman was stuck travelling through time. I don't like when he's in there. It's just a sign written in Batman's blood saying, "Help, I'm trapped in time." And you've got like Jim Gordon, Barbara, Superman, the Flash, and everyone there like, we don't know what this means.
Help me, I'm a pirate.
Martial arts. Grayson is a master martial artist, having mastered several martial arts after studying under Batman, Richard Dragon, and Wildcat, which means that he studied under a guy called Dick Dragon. That is a fucking Dick Dragon's Kung Fu Studio. That's a shirt. If that's on a shirt somewhere, send me a link, I'll buy it. The Wing Cycle, his own personalised model of the Bat Cycle, which he calls the Wing Cycle, as a passenger cycle. I hope he makes Batman riding that. On principle, make Batman. I followed
So when you're in my town, Batman, you sit in my side.
that is like, I need that to have been in a comic once. Of like, all that time I was flying around my fucking underwear doing backflips, you could sit in the sidecar, Batman. And then notes and trivia, Dick turned 20 shortly after Christ on Infinite Earths. So he learned like 19 different languages, all their fighting styles, become a master at every conceivable form of espionage and martial art before he turned 20 years old.
And he only got adopted by like Batman when he was what, 10 or something, when his parents died.
And then we have trivia here. Batman admits that Nightwing is the only person he'd pick to lead the Justice League. Superboy stated that he thinks Nightwing totally rules. The Flash is welcoming the idea of learning combat skills from Nightwing. Dick's favourite breakfast food is pancakes. Why is that there? Why do they have that detail?
I bet that's just something from Teen Titans.
Yes.